are bringing in our panel tonight. Josh Lafazan, former Democratic legislator in Nassau County, New York, and Republican strategist Matt Klink. Gentlemen, welcome both of you. Josh, I actually want to start with you, and let's pick up on what we were just talking about with Niall Stanage there. I mean, one criticism, I think, of Hillary Clinton is that she played it too safe, especially in the 20 or so and in just the last few weeks leading up to the election. Do you think that the Harris campaign, staying as general as it is right now in terms of attacks, is in danger of falling into the same issue?
I do. And what's interesting, if you look at new polling, it shows that both candidates are officially underwater. What that means in political speak is that both candidates now have approval ratings that are lower than their disapproval ratings. Trump at positive 43, negative 51, Harris positive 43, negative 49, excuse me. So the Kamala Harris campaign has to look at these numbers soberly and say, if this is not working, we have to do something differently. And I think contrasting with the Clinton campaign in 2016, playing it safe is not going to work when all of these polls are within the margin of error. And so if I'm Kamala Harris and I'm Tim Walz, I'm adopting the strategy that Pete Buttigieg adopted when he ran in the presidential primary, which is go everywhere, be everywhere. Contrast with Trump, who is saying, ensconced in his rallies and ensconced in conservative media, go everywhere, speak to different mediums. Republicans are listening to folks like Joe Rogan. Go on Fox News, go into these conservative areas, talk to the voters you're not reaching. Otherwise, I think you may lose in November.
Okay, interesting. Matt, I want to get your insight on this before I ask you about medical records and that issue this weekend. What do you think?
Kamala Harris had an absolutely horrid week. She went out to try to expand her media exposure by going to largely friendly media venues, and she flopped on The View, as evidenced by the quote you just showed. She flopped on 60 Minutes when they were caught editing out a word salad interview on Israel and replacing it not with even something in the same quote, but with an answer further down. She drank a beer on Colbert and looked incredibly awkward, and we saw that stupid giggle that she does. So this just showed her complete lack of substance. And it's the reason why, look, Donald Trump is ahead in 6 of 7 swing states right now. He's trending upward, and his campaign is surging right now. So Donald Trump is doing what he needs to do to win. This is not unlike most elections, this is a turnout election. There are no persuadables left.
Matt, I want to stay with you. Let's talk about this. VP Harris releasing the medical report yesterday, and House Speaker Andy Johnson asked today about whether Mike Johnson asked today about whether Trump should release updated records. Let's listen to what the speaker had to say.
Kamala Harris issued her medical records as a diversion because she's desperate because she's sinking in the polls. Donald Trump's health is on display. Everyone in America can see it. The man works nonstop. The American people don't care about the cholesterol level of Donald Trump. They care about the cost of living and the fact they cannot pay for groceries because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's policies have put them in that situation. The medical records are irrelevant.
Matt, you are good at leveling with us. Trump is now the oldest presidential candidate in history. A second term would take him into his 80s. Is the speaker right to brush off the medical records as irrelevant?
Natasha, really, in a time when Iran is probably going to get attacked this week by Israel, when the Biden-Harris administration has flubbed the response to 2 hurricanes, that everything in the U.S. costs more because of this, because of the Biden-Harris administration, and Kamala Harris tries to divert attention to medical records, who cares? Donald Trump does 70-minute press conferences on a regular basis. He stands for 90 minutes. He doesn't use a teleprompter, unlike the scripted made-for-TV events that Mrs. Harris does. It's a complete non-issue, and the voters are going to say, meh. Who cares?
Josh, very quickly, because there's one more topic I want to hit with you. Do you think it is a complete non-issue, the issue of age with voters?
I don't, right? We just went from Joe Biden and Donald Trump being the 2 oldest nominees ever in a race to Donald Trump becoming potentially the oldest ever nominee. And quite frankly, even Republicans can note he's meandering at rallies, unlike he was in 2016. He's forgetting names. He calls Nancy Pelosi by the wrong name. And so, of course, having somebody who's the oldest president ever, we deserve facts on his medical history. It's not a diversion. It's real, and it's a real concern.
Okay, Josh Lafazan, we are out of time, but appreciate it. And Matt Klink as well. Thank you so much for your time tonight.